Hello, it is Tuesday, and I am going to continue to read some questions from the March issue of O Magazine. The 20 questions every woman should ask herself today. It's on the cover here. So today I'm on questions 9 and 10, and I have low battery, so hopefully I will get through this before the battery dies. It is a little bit lengthy, so I'm a little nervous about it. So let's get started. Question number 9 is, am I helpless? And question number 10 is, am I helpful? So let's start with question number 9. It says, I can milk a cow, castrate a pig, stack hay in a barn, and shovel manure into the back of a truck all afternoon. I can change a tire in the rain, brew elderberry wine, and create chocolate candies using my granny's old recipes and black walnuts I've picked up along the road. Early in life, I decided to be a person who could do anything, and when I wanted to travel and had no money, I hitchhiked across the continent. Once, I bicycled over the highest pass in the Swiss Alps, carrying my sleeping bag, luggage, bike, tools, and food. At age 40, in order to be able to defend myself, I took up martial arts and earned a second-degree black belt in Kobudo, an Okinawan weapons art. Nowadays, I also run several times a week to stay in shape, for sure, but also so I'll be able to outrun an attacker or chase down a runway child before she wanders into the road. I've taught my nieces how to pee in the woods instead of trying to balance with your panties down. Lean your back against a tree as though sitting in a chair. You might say I've made it my business not to be helpless, whether that means learning to patch the roof, snake out the drain, or install ceramic tile to save money and the trouble of hiring someone. Refusing to be helpless has made me a better wife and companion to my husband of 26 years. He knows he can rely on me to do my share and shoulder whatever burdens our lives present. My spirit of self-sufficiency has come largely from my mother, Susanna, who raised 5 children alone and learned to butcher her own animals in order to feed us. Despite having an arm that was damaged at birth, leaving her partially disabled, she has always loved men, but she never wanted to depend on one. Now that my mother is aging, I see her needing more help, and it frightens me. She's just had her second spinal surgery and is recovering in a determined way, but she's very restricted in her movements. Every day she makes a list of the tasks that are beyond her. A recent list included clean up the cat's vomit and take the lid off the cranberry juice. This is the woman who canned 200 quarts of tomatoes every autumn and saddle-broke wild horses in her spare time. She didn't tolerate slacking in her kids, and was even more demanding of my sister and me than of my 3 brothers, since she knew the pitfalls that await women who can't take care of themselves. We heard about the dangers of alcohol, men, and pregnancy years before we needed to. Though Susanna has had her share of difficult and sorrowful circumstances, she has rarely asked for sympathy, yet she has always been quick to offer it. When she had money beyond what the bills required, she often loaned it out, and with little hope of repayment. She allowed other kids to move into our house to avoid abusive or difficult homes, and after her own kids left home, she rented the rooms cheaply to folks in need. In other words, all the while she was being tough, my mother was cultivating a life rich with friends and family who are now eager to help her when she can't do everything herself. Her new challenge is learning how to let them. That's from Bonnie Jo Campbell. He's the author of the novel Once Upon a River. Wow, am I helpless? You know, I am gaining more strength as I get older. I do feel that I took on a rather helpless attitude when I was younger, as well as even into several years early on in my marriage, always depending on my husband to do everything. A few years ago, after visiting Ghana for a conference on sex trafficking, I traveled to Zambia to stay with some friends who live on the Zambezi River. It's a rural place full of big game preserves and small villages where daily life is a struggle. When I arrived, villagers were mourning two women who had gone into Lusaka to prostitute themselves and support their families, and they disappeared. On a big tarpaulin laid out in a barren field, I sat with 30 or so village women in a circle. Talking circles are powerful things. They've given birth to countless activist movements, even revolutions. On this occasion, though, I thought our lives would be too difficult for us to connect, and at first, shyness did prevail. The language barrier made things difficult, but then the women sang a song, and my inability to carry a tune made them laugh. One of the English-speaking friends I was staying with sang "This Little Light of Mine," and others translated its lyrics. And then a woman from the village told a story. With tears in her eyes, she said she was a widow who only now felt safe enough to reveal that her husband had beaten her. As is often the case, that one truth-teller broke the spell. Other women began to talk about their lives. Many of their husbands worked in lodges where tourists came to see wildlife, but the lodges didn't hire women. These families couldn't meet the cost of living or cover what was, to the women, the most important expense, their children's school fees. Many wives contributed by farming, but as soon as their vegetable crops were near harvesting, elephants would eat them to the ground. And so, with no other option available to them, some women sold their bodies. The situation seemed hopeless, but when I asked what would help, the answer was surprising: an electrified fence to keep out the elephants. Back in New York, a few friends helped me raise the money to build one. I received updates from the villagers. Here was a photo of the arena the women had cleared, by hand, of rocks and stumps and weeds. Here was a photo of the finished product, fresh shoots of maize starting to take shape behind it. When I went back the next year, the women had harvested a bumper crop of maize. They had food for a year, plus extra to sell to pay their children's school fees. Before I spoke to them, if you'd asked me how to stop sex trafficking in this village, never would I have said find a way to keep elephants out of their gardens. I call this story the parable of the fence, and these are its lessons. Helping begins with listening. Context is everything. People who experience a problem know best how to solve it. Big problems often have small solutions. And finally, do whatever you can. I've done what I thought were big things, like testify before Congress, that had no impact at all. And I've done little things I don't even remember doing, like introducing two people that I would later discover had made an impact lasting decades. That night, on the tarp beside the Zambezi, I had no idea what remarkable things would come of our talk. The art of being helpful is behaving as if everything we do matters, because we never know which things might. And that's from Gloria Steinem. She's a journalist, author, Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, and member of the steering committee of the Women Activist fundraising platform, Donor Direct Action. That was really beautiful. I'm going through just a little bit of a bump right now. It's like I'm trying to be who I think I need to be to become who I want to be. And it goes deeper than just losing weight. I know that that's what a lot of my videos center around. But that's only a piece of it. To me, I've just become a little bit of a different person lately because I'm wanting to change. And, you know, for the past few days, I've been doing what steps I thought it would take to make me accomplish this lifestyle that I'm seeking. But I've noticed that it is only seeming to create a sadness in me. I'm generally a pretty friendly, helpful, loving, caring person to just about anyone. I mean, the only people that I probably wouldn't extend that to just in passing are people that I know just don't like me for whatever reason. So I just... Sorry about the train. I just kind of ignore those people because I don't feel like any amount of kindness to them would gain you any ground. So I just ignore those people. I mean, I talk to them and I'm friendly. I'm not mean. I don't want to make it sound like that. But I talk to them if I have to. Let's put it that way. But I don't go out of my way to talk to them or be friendly like I used to. But it's also changed other areas of my life, and I don't think that I'm quite as friendly as I used to be. I don't feel like I'm smiling as much as I used to. I don't know. So I am going to give this new thing that I'm doing a little bit more time. Because I wouldn't expect, if you're trying to change something about yourself, I wouldn't expect it necessarily to take off right from the start and all of a sudden you're this new person. Things are going to take time, and I am working on working the kinks out. So, anyway, that's just where I am. But that was a really beautiful story to me because I have visions and dreams just to do something bigger, like what that story was about. Not just every day living the same repetitions with an expected end, but instead to maybe, like she said, the art of being helpful is behaving as if everything we do matters, because we never know which things might. So that was just a beautiful piece to me, and I'm really enjoying this. And if you've taken the time to watch these videos, I hope that you are enjoying them as well. So tomorrow is Weigh-In Wednesday. I will not be doing one of these questions tomorrow. I'm just going to keep that video focused on the Weigh-In Wednesday. So on Thursday, you will see me again, and I will do probably 11, 12, and 13, because 13 is just another short quote, like yesterday's was number 8, how it was just a short quote. And so it'll be really good, though, because it will kind of go along with my Weigh-In Wednesday. So anyway, I'm not wanting this to drag out too long, so I am trying to condense them and maybe do 2 or 3 a day. But anyway, so that's it for today, and I apologize if these new videos are a little long. I like to keep my videos between 6 to 10 minutes, but I think these might be running a little longer. So just bear with me, and I'll do my best to just kind of speed the process along. But I really appreciate your watching these. Please feel free to comment your thoughts on these topics, and because I do enjoy reading them, and I don't know, it's just, I think it's a good time. So I appreciate your watching. I think I already said that, but I do. I'm thankful for it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.